let's take a look at the menu and features of the water elemental. So you're going to see, you're going to have two new main toggles for this. So you have the water elemental and you have the water dash. The water dash is separate because it makes it easier to toggle it on and off if you have it in your main menu, like on the first layer. So what this does is, while toggled, if you make a fist with your right hand and you jump, you are going to perform a dash forward. You can control the speed of the dash inside this setting, which is going to make you faster and also reach further. Let's go back to the main menu though. So we go into water elemental, and then you see you have the main toggles and then the settings and adjustment options. The water elemental toggles the water elemental, of course. Then we have the contact controls, which enables or disables the contacts above you that you can use to toggle stuff by using gestures instead of having to use the radial menu. And then you have a quick toggle to toggle the swords on and off. And then we can go into the settings already. So in your aura menu, you have the water caustics that you can enable, which will project under your avatar up to like this height on any objects around you. You have the magic rune, which is going to give you your funny water aura when you move. And then you have some ambient particles or some bubbles that you can toggle on and off too, because it's just a small effect. The spawn effect, which is going to play the first time someone loads your avatar, or if you toggle it manually. Then the footsteps. Let's see if the emulator is going to emulate. Yeah. You can see when your feet touch the ground, you're going to shoot water from where you stepped, which also forms these splashes. You also have lightning footsteps that you can toggle on, which makes you shoot lightning and water. Then the rain particles you can enable via a gesture. Actually, let me mute this. The rain particles you can enable via a gesture or via this toggle to turn them on and off. And then you have the head pads that are going to get played when someone touches your head. So you make like cute hearts. And then we have the magic stuff. So you can summon your pool of water if you want, which has like caustics, movement, foam, death color, all the good stuff. And fits to your water elemental. You can increase the height of the pool if you want to. So you have a larger body of water. Then you have the water gun as a toggle, which you can also toggle via gestures on and off. And if you have this on and you perform a finger point gesture, you're going to shoot a water beam. And you can toggle this on and off via the menu toggle or the gesture. The control is to make a fist with your left hand and to make a finger point gesture with your right hand when you have your hands in the contacts which we placed on you. You can also toggle the water shield this way by making a fist and a rocker gesture, which is going to give you this shield bubble. And you can choose to toggle the area effect under the shield on and off. So if you don't want to have one, you don't have to have one. Then we have the water meteors, which are these water meteor particles that fall down from the sky and on impact make an AoE, just like the water shield AoE basically. Then the dash speed, which makes you dash further and faster. Yeah, this concludes the magics. And then we have the customization stuff. You can tune the audio loudness of the rain and the waves, of course. You can U-shift the swords if you like them to be a different color. And you can increase the emission up to a ton. You can also toggle on and off that the elemental is dripping. The drips from the elemental also collide with objects and form puddles, as you can see here. Okay, let's go back. So we have the U-shift, the elemental drops, and then we also have the Death Knight in here that I have included, which allows all the death effects to work in any wall. And then we also have the how to use, which is going to look bad in the emulator. But this is going to tell you which gesture toggles which thing on and off, and how you can use the water gun on the light that is in the elemental. Then we have the actual sword settings, where you can choose if you want to have only one of the swords, for example, or both of them. You can choose to either show the sword hit effects or hide them. So when you hit another sword or weapon, these are going to play an audio cue and some water splash particles. Same if you hit another player, they're going to play some blood particles and a different audio cue. So this is super easily controlled via this toggle if you don't want to accidentally hit people. Then you have the different particles on your swords, which you can enable or disable how you want. The same goes for the slashes. You have a light and a strong slash for each. You need to have the light one enabled for the option to enable the strong one as well. And then you have the manual position control for your swords. In VR, you can simply grab inside of these spheres. And if you make an open hand, you either sheave if your hand is inside the sphere, or you drop it to the world if it is not. Or you can also use this for a quick toggle, or if you are in desktop. You can summon the swords and the light back to you by doing a double rocket gesture. So rocket gesture with each hand. If you have the summoning, if you have the summoning enabled. Then we have the light. Actually, let's put the swords back. We have the light. This is located in the elemental by default. And you can choose to toggle the whole interaction on off. If you don't want to grab it on accident, you can just turn it off. So you would grab into the elemental and make a fist to grab the light. You also have the same manual position control here. And this is going to give you this light ball once you grab it. And like I said, you can grab it by making a fist. This does have a light on it, which you can use to illuminate your surroundings if you're in a dark area. You can of course control the intensity. Under 10% it gets turned off. Actually, let's make it a bit dark, I guess. So you can see we can control the intensity of the light, and here it gets turned off. And then you can also control the range in this house. It doesn't show as well because the ground is black. Let's go pretty far though. Oh yeah, this also has caustics built into it as well, which you can toggle separately if you don't want the caustics to show. And so let's turn this off, I guess, for now. And then we also have the distortion on the sphere, which is this main black hole particle. Since this is using some more maps, that might be necessary for such a small thing. If you have it in the default size, you can toggle the black hole on and off super easily here. You can also control the size of the particle and what is here in here. If you want to have like a way bigger sphere and do some posing with it. And as you can see, this has all the distortion and stuff. Yeah. Let's make it small. If you want the light to cast shadows, you can also enable that. So you have either a normal light, which is a bit more performant, or you have a shadow casting light, which has shadows but also costs more CPU. And then you have the positions, which we already looked at. And you have the same toggle for if you want to enable the summoning back with a double rocket gesture. Then I can show the dash real quick, I guess, since we can't really show this in the emulator. if I can toggle this. Nope. When you dash, you're going to emit particles and you're going to dash forward. And this happens when you are jumping and when you make a fist with your right hand. Like this. And it is going to move you forward, of course. And this concludes the overview over the menu stuff. Have another fun!